They placed the nameplate in front of me just before the ceremony began. Low, educated, fake dad. The words were burned into cheap plastic, letters smirking back at me. Her family laughed. The bride's father slapped the table. The mother hid a cruel smile behind her lace glove. A few uncles whispered and chuckled as if I couldn't hear. But I heard everything. I sat there, spine straight, eyes calm. My son saw it too, saw me staring at the plate like it was a gravestone. His jaw tightened. He leaned toward me and whispered, "Dad, let's—" He didn't finish the sentence, not yet. He didn't need to, because I already knew what he was about to say. Backstory. Years ago, when his mother left, she didn't even fight for custody. She left me a broken man and a boy with tear-streaked cheeks. I raised him alone, scraped money teaching night classes, fixing engines, tutoring kids richer than mine. Every cent went into his schooling. Every lecture was followed by a home-cooked meal, even if it was just rice and broth. He used to clutch my hand and say, "One day, Dad, I'll make you proud." I never needed him to. He already had. But then his mother reappeared, draped in jewelry, lips painted with other men's money. She smiled at him as though she hadn't abandoned him. She wanted back in his life, especially when she found out he was getting married into wealth. And she brought me here, not as father of the groom, but as a spectacle. Discovery of betrayal. It started weeks before the wedding. Her sudden calls, her rehearsed laughter, her sly suggestions about seating charts. I saw the way her new family looked at me when I walked into planning meetings, like I was dirt smudged on glass. One night, I overheard her whispering into the phone, "Don't worry, he won't embarrass us. He doesn't know how to handle himself. Just let him sit quietly in the corner." That was the moment the old wound split open again. She had betrayed me once by leaving. Now she wanted to erase me altogether. But this time, I wasn't the same man. Shift in mindset. I didn't shout, didn't confront. I smiled, nodded, and acted the obedient fool. Meanwhile, I prepared. I gathered documents, tax returns, property deeds, proof of the years I spent financing our son's education alone. I called in favors quietly, students I'd helped, clients I'd saved from financial ruin, men and women who owed me loyalty, not money. Every thread of my life that she had dismissed as meaningless, I tied into a noose. I wasn't going to ruin her in private, no. I was going to let her choke on her own laughter. Execution of the plan. The day of the wedding, I arrived early. Not in a rented suit, not in borrowed shoes. I wore the same modest suit my son and I picked out years ago when he graduated college. A suit that had seen celebrations, tears, and promises. At the reception, when they unveiled my nameplate, silence stretched. Then the bride's family burst into mocking applause. Her father sneered. "Well, at least he showed up. Better than nothing." My ex-wife smirked at me, certain she had stripped me of dignity. But my son rose. He tapped his glass for silence. The hall obeyed. Climax and confrontation. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, voice steady, "before we toast, I want to correct something." He lifted the nameplate and held it high. The words glared under the lights. "This," he said, "is what my mother's family thinks of my father." Gasps rippled across the room. My ex-wife's smile faltered. My son's voice sharpened. But this man, this so-called fake dad, was the only real parent I had. He sold his sleep, his youth, his health to raise me. Every achievement of mine belongs to him. If he's low-educated, then his wisdom has outshined every degree in this room. He slammed the plate onto the table. The crack echoed like a gunshot. Her family's laughter died. And then he turned. "Dad, let's dance." The band hesitated, then struck the first chord. My son pulled me to the center of the floor. Guests rose, clapped, some even wept. Cameras flashed, not on the bride, not on her family, but us. My ex-wife shrank in her seat, her face a mask of humiliation. Everything she tried to erase had been immortalized instead. Resolution and emotional release. I didn't need revenge in the form of rage. My son had delivered it for me, cleaner, sharper than I ever could. As we moved across the dance floor, his hand firm on my shoulder, I realized something. My life's quiet sacrifices weren't wasted. They had built a man strong enough to defend me in front of the world. And she who once discarded us, was left to swallow the bitter truth. I had already won, the moment she walked away years ago. I didn't need to destroy her. My son's love had done it for me. Still, as I glanced back at her wilted figure, I allowed myself one final thought. There is no fake father, only a real coward who ran away. And tonight, the world finally knows which one of us that is.